Head coach Tim Kirby here after a tough one, 76-60 loss over Ouachita Baptist tonight. Coach Kirby, talk a little about what happened early in the game to start things off.
I thought the first half, we overcame some breakdowns defensively and made a few shots. We go in at halftime up one. They hurt us on the boards worse than anybody has this year. They got 11 offensive rebounds in the first half, and that's usually our strength. And part of that was they just got some really quick guards that were running past us, getting loose balls. I think they had 4 or 5 that weren't really awarded to anybody. They were team rebounds, but they were considered offensive rebounds. So that hurt us in the first half, but we still had a 1-point lead at halftime. I felt good about us weathering that storm. Came out the second half, and their pressure hurt us a little bit in the first half, but it really showed up the second half and kind of made it a frantic pace that affected both ends of the floor. They wear you down a little bit defensively, and they probably affect us more than anybody else in the league just because of our lack of depth and just not a whole lot of ball handling guards out there on the floor. So that hurt us in the second half. We turned it over a few times, but probably the biggest problem we had was just executing after we got it up the floor because the shot clock was down so low, and it just kind of got away from us. They got a nice team.
It seemed like OBU had Kristen Seltzer's number tonight. She was 0 for 8 from field goals, 6 points. Montana came through there with 14. Then Tabitha Haney came through as well with 13. Talk about Montana as well as Tabitha picking things up.
Yeah, Tabitha had 13 in the first half. She kept us in and making a few threes and got some open looks. They doubled down on the post, so Ariel pitched out a couple of times out of the post that got us wide open shots. And when that happens, it kind of makes the defense yo-yo back and forth, and we were able to get some good looks in the first half. Montana got some. She was having to help us bring the ball to the floor, and Kristen did too. It kind of took them out of their normal scoring positions that they've kind of gotten used to the last few games. So I think that probably affected them more than anything. Kristen got a few good looks, just they didn't fall. And she got pretty aggressive in the second half, got to the free throw line 12 times, and so she did some good things. It's just sometimes balls don't go in the basket, and you got to create ways to score other ways off of turnovers, getting stops on the other end, and being able to handle their pressure was probably the biggest factor there with her shooting. I don't know how to explain that when that happens to players, but we'll regroup and we'll play in 2 days in Oklahoma, and I think that we'll be ready to go compete again.
Yeah, Ouachita's in the past. Southeastern Oklahoma State coming up on Saturday. Talk a little about what you're going to talk with the Lady Bisons about before Saturday comes.
Well, after the game, we talked about that game doesn't define our season, and we'll just move on. And they're a bad matchup for us. We knew that coming into it. We were able to take them into overtime at their place, got a 18-point lead in the second half over there, and 4 people fouled out. So there's a lot of things that go on that affect games, and so we felt like one got away from us at Ouachita, and then tonight, that happens to us, and they got a good team. We've got to be able to handle the pressure a little bit better. Going to Southeastern, and we just told them, hey, we start tonight preparing for that, making sure we're taking care of ourselves, getting rest, being ready to get on the bus tomorrow and go practice when we get to Durant, Oklahoma. And we've done this a bunch of times already, so I think we'll be ready to go. That's one thing about this team is I've been really impressed and pleased with the way we've handled adversity. I don't think any team in America has dealt with what we have this year as far as the injuries go and the lack of depth. So we've just kind of taken it in stride. I think we've gotten better from it, and you can't let tonight's game affect the rest of your season. If you do, then we're wasting our time. So I think the girls had a good look on their face when they left the locker room. I don't think it was one of those deals where they had their heads ducked down like it's the end of the world. So that's a good thing. I think we'll be ready to go.
All right, Coach Kirby here after a 76-60 loss to Ouachita Baptist. Coach Kirby, good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.